Hi, welcome to Party Food Hero. I'm Aaron. Today we're going to be making an amazing dessert. So it's holiday season, we're getting close to Thanksgiving. I love pumpkin pie. I also love cheesecake. We decided to marry the two. So we're making a pumpkin pie cheesecake. It's delicious. It has a gingerbread pecan crust. It's really good. We have a little caramel sauce we put on top. This is an amazing recipe, really easy to make. Let's go check it out. All right, we're gonna get right into it. I forgot to do the shot of all of the ingredients, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your ginger snaps, you're gonna put them in a food processor, and you are going to pulverize them until they are a nice powder. And then we're gonna mix them with some other ingredients. But first we gotta chop up some pecans. So we're gonna chop these up. Probably in the future what I would do is I would just do this in the food processor as well. So I would do the ginger snaps, take that out, put these in there and pulse it until they're a little bit smaller. Probably we didn't chop these up fine enough, but I mean, it turns out fine. You'll just have bigger chunks of pecans in your crust, which I don't mind, but I could see maybe some people minding. So that's what you do. All right, now you're gonna add your brown sugar to your ginger snaps or your ginger snap powder. And then you're gonna add in your pecans and you're gonna mix those together. And then once those are mixed together, you're gonna add in your melted butter. So drizzle in that melted butter and then you're just gonna mix it all together until it's all combined well. And then you'll know because you're able to form a crust out of the end product. So you just mix it all up until it looks like this. Nice and incorporated and ready to put into our springform pan. All right, so now you're gonna add this crust into your springform pan. And then once you have it all in there, you're gonna use your fingers to kind of just compress it down. And so you're gonna go down and then you're gonna go up the sides a little bit, about a ½ inch. And then once you've done that, you're gonna take the crust and you're gonna put it into the refrigerator while you are making the cheesecake filling. And that usually is about 20 minutes maybe. So just let that crust chill for about 20 minutes. And so you can see we are just patting this in and then kind of working it up the sides slowly until it's about a ½ inch up the sides. And now for the best part. You're gonna add in your cream cheese, which is essential for any cheesecake. Nice and slowly. Then you're gonna beat it up for a little bit, get it nice and soft for the rest of the ingredients. And while you're beating this, every once in a while you're gonna wanna just scrape the sides down where all the cream cheese has gathered upon, and just, you'll stop it like this. And you'll take your rubber spatula and you will scrape down the sides just like this. That way all of it is getting nice and whipped up together. Now you're gonna add in your pumpkin pie filling and you're gonna mix that all together. And again, you're gonna mix this all together, and after it's all mixed together, you want to scrape down the sides. These KitchenAids are notorious for just leaving a lot of that stuff on the sides. So after it's blended up well, you are going to take your rubber spatula just like this and scrape down those sides. Now you're going to add in your sour cream, and then you're going to mix that all together. Make sure you get all your sour cream. Don't leave any of your sour cream behind. And then we're gonna mix it all up. And then after that, there's even more ingredients. Yes. And while that's mixing together, you're gonna add in your sugar. Just pour it all in, a little bit at a time, maybe like a third or fourth of it at a time. Doesn't really matter. You'll mix it all in anyways. You just don't want to put it all at once because you don't want it to all of a sudden fling all your sugar out. So just slowly pour it in there until it's all nice and incorporated. Now you're gonna add in your spices, and this is what it's gonna give your pumpkin pie cheesecake. Just a ton of flavor. And then you're gonna mix it all in till it's all combined perfectly. You're gonna drop in a little bit of your vanilla. There we go. And you can see those edges. We'll scrape those eventually. Get all that incorporated nice and beautifully. Look at that. All over it. Scraping those edges. And once it's all combined together and nice and smooth, there's no lumps of cream cheese or anything else in the batter, it is ready to get poured into your chilled crust. Now you're gonna pour your filling into the crust inside of your springform pan. And you don't wanna go to the tippity top of the springform pan, or this will boil over, or it'll bake over the springform pan. So I leave about like a 1/2 inch of room, and you might have a little extra batter. Just use that for like little muffins or something like that. Now, once it's done baking, cooling even more, we're gonna add our freshly made whipped cream on top. Now, you can either do this, I was trying to do like a nice fancy way of trying to get it all nice and flat and level, but you don't have to do this. You could take it out of the springform pan and just put it on, and it would still be delicious. I do highly recommend making the whipped cream, and that will be on our website, partyfoodhero.com. And also all the instructions, all the ingredients, everything will also be there and in the description of this video. But for the caramel sauce and the whipped cream, that'll be exclusive to partyfoodhero.com. So go check it out. Super easy to make and delicious to eat. So I don't know. You don't have to watch. You don't have to watch this part. It's just me attempting to make a pretty looking cake. And that's how I did it. And let's look at some slicing. Look how pretty that looks. So what you're going to want to do is have a nice sharp knife, cut it, clean off the knife, cut it again. Then you cut the other side, and here it comes. Sometimes I make things that are so delicious, I'm nervous I'm going to drop it like that, or I just don't know what to do with it. Do I keep showing it to you? Do I put it on a plate? Do I put delicious salted caramel on it? You do all of the above. Let's get some of that slow-mo salted caramel action. All right, now for my favorite part of the video, I get to eat the food. Now, as you could tell, this is a very simple recipe to make. The only part that takes a long time is the waiting time. Other than that, it's just mixing some stuff together, and you're gonna have the most amazing dessert at any Thanksgiving. So, or probably any party. This has got to be one of my favorite desserts I've ever made. So we start with that. You got that salted caramel that's on there, caramel, whatever. Then you have your freshly whipped cream. And both of those recipes will be on partyfoodhero.com, so go check those out there. The salted caramel takes us over the top. Same with whipped cream, is how easy it is to make. It's just make it yourself. It's so much better. And then you have that, you got that layer of the crust, which normally I don't like crust. You know, no one really cares about the crust. It's all about the filling, but in this case, the crust is essential and amazing. It's got a good little crunch, It's got the little sweetness and saltiness that we have in there from the ginger snaps and the pecans. I'm like jowls, like salivate. I'm waiting. I'm so excited to eat this. But yeah, so I don't want to wait anymore. Let's try this out. Here we go. So that is like one of the most perfect desserts ever, especially if you enjoy a nice sweet and slightly salty dessert. Just awesome. It's got the contrasting sweet and saltiness. It's got the contrasting light whipped cream. You got your cheesecake, a little denser, and then you have that crust that is absolutely perfect for this recipe. We've made pumpkin pie cheesecake probably about 4 or 5 times, trying to figure out the best recipe. We've tweaked several different recipes and came up with this one, and this one is fantastic. I can't say enough about it. Just make it. If you're doing Thanksgiving, you're by yourself, with your family, whatever you're doing, definitely make this. It's gonna make it so much better. And if anyone's watching where I'm going to be having Thanksgiving, I wouldn't mind if you made this. It's fantastic. So, if you learned anything new in this video, if you enjoyed the video, if you are going to make this, hit like, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. We're putting videos out every week. Check out all the older videos that we have. We got a bunch of great recipes that you can make for any type of party or event or for yourself. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Party Food Hero, and all the kind of smaller recipes that I don't do in the actual videos are always found on partyfoodhero.com. So don't forget to check that out as well. It's an easy website to navigate. It's not one of those really annoying websites. You've been to those websites, the recipe websites, where you have to read the person's life story every time you want to find out how to make some beef jerky or whatever. Yeah, it's straight to the point. It's the recipe. That's it. You don't have to worry about reading my life story. And remember, be the party food hero. I'm going to eat the rest of this because it's so good.
Be the party food hero.
So good.